Welcome back to the show. On Friday, I took a night off from racing, which left me with Saturday wondering exactly which track to go to. Now, there are many I haven't made it to yet and will in the future, but the USAC Sprint race at Port Royal was very tempting. I've never seen the USAC Sprints in person, so I thought I'd make a trek there. And fans at the track were also treated to some vintage race cars from the Eastern Museum of Motor Racing. John, it's pretty neat for the fans to see these old-time race cars here. Describe a little bit what the museum's all about.
Museum's about the history of motor racing in the eastern part of the country, primarily in Pennsylvania, with dirt tracks. Started out with midgets and open cars and jalopies, and then progressed into sprint cars, modifieds, late models, and super late models, and what you see here tonight. And then the museum is also not just with dirt or circle track cars. It also has an expanded coverage now of drag racing, and we're going to get into some road race cars here very soon, and there's also some cars that run timing, like on the Salt Flats.
And you see all these fans here looking at all the race cars. I'm sure they show their appreciation to you people involved with the museum to restore these cars and bring them out for them to see.
Well, it's a lot of enjoyment to restore the car and also the enjoyment to drive them, and it's nice for the people to see the cars as they're restored. It's nice to go see them in the museum all pristine, but it's also really nice to hear the different kinds of engines run and see the cars move and come to life on the track. And a lot of the older fans, it reminds them of the cars that their parents drove, or that when they were little kids and came to the races that ran here.
Well, John, besides showing off these race cars for the fans, there is a purpose for you people to be here at the racetrack.
Yeah, our purpose is to get the people to the museum and see us run our cars at Latimer, and there's a lot of functions. Latimer does a lot for the community. We have fishing for all kind of people and children. We do a lot with the Boy Scouts. We do a lot with the Lions Club and other community events at the fairgrounds and the museum. And the other thing, the museum is always free to get in. We're open every weekend from April until October, and everything is free at the museum as far as coming in and looking at everything. We're a nonprofit organization, so we do have some money-raising events, and our event this year is the giveaway car. It's the Sportsman behind me. It's Ford-powered. It raced in the 80s. Carmen Perigo and Dale Holder restored the car. The car was given to us by Jake Raudaball. He owned it and drove the car. It's Ford-powered. We're going to pull the ticket next March when the museum reopens, and hopefully someone that wins it will become a very involved with the EMMR and run it next year with us at some of these events.
And finally, here you are at Port Royal. I imagine you're going to be at other speedways during the course of the season.
Yes, we're at many speedways. We're at one or two events during Speed Week. We try to hit every track at least one time. We go out at intermission and show the fans how the cars look when they competed years ago. The easiest way to find out any information about us is www.emmr.org. The schedule's on there, the hours. There's a live walkthrough tour, a virtual tour of the museum, and all of our events are on there. And there's some stuff that's not necessarily circle track related. We also have like a little kind of a county fair kind of a thing. And then we also have our Williams Grove Old Timers reunion in the middle of August, and then you'll see the cars come to life.
Now on to the highlights from the night's USAC Sprint race. Darren Hagan in the orange 69 would jump to the early lead from the pole position. Off of turn 2, the 71 of Damian Gardner would pull virtually even with Hagan down the backstretch, but would have to settle into the second position for the time being. At times during the race, it was common to see multiple cars vying for one spot. Hagan would continue to lead the field with Gardner in second and John Stambro in third. A handful of Port regulars took their wings off for this show. Here is the number 7 of Chad Layton. He would finish 16th. Tracy Hines in the 4 took a shot at the runner-up spot with this move on Gardner, but he slides high in turn 2, and Gardner is able to dive low to hold on to second place as they drag race into turn 3. Hagan appeared to have this race under control until losing the handle in turn 3 and coming to a stop on lap 23. On the restart, Gardner goes high once up to speed while Dave Darlin in the blue 11 dives low. Going into turn 1, it looks like Darlin may be able to take over the lead, but Gardner has enough momentum on the top side to hold him off. With 4 to go, Darlin slaps the front stretch wall and loses positions to Hines and Stambro as they go through 1 and 2. Darlin would fall back to 5th, and Damian Gardner would hold on to take the checkers. Congratulations, Damian, on the win. If Hagen hadn't had his problems, could you have caught him?
Yeah, I was playing around there a little bit in the middle of the race, and I was trying to go across through the middle and stuff, and I tried the bottom early, and we lost some ground to him every time we did, so I had to, I had to get back up on the top. I think we were a little quicker. We could definitely run him down. Getting past him was going to be something, I don't know. I knew I was going to have to spend the rest of the race to just run him down and be on his bumper, and if he'd make a mistake leaving the corner, then I could go for a big slider. But it was going to be tough. It was going to be tough to come across there on him. But about the time I was trying to run him back down, just to plan hopefully at the end of the race move, he ended up biking it up there and getting upside down, and it worked out for us.
Now, Port Royal was the biggest track on the Eastern Storm Tour. What do you think of Port Royal on your first visit here?
I love Port Royal. I've heard a lot of stories about it. It's one of the legendary big joints, and we have a couple out in California. Manzanita's gone now, and Williams Grove and Port Royal. It's amongst up there with some of the biggest names in the country just for big fast joints, and you like to come here and you like to win those big ones. And the fans were amazing today. It's just this is the environment. This is the kind of stuff you like to win. They appreciate it. They thank us a lot, and we appreciate when they come out.
Following Gardner across the line were Tracy Hines, John Stambro, Robert Ballou, and Dave Darland. Well, that was a fun night at the races, not only catching my first USAC sprint race in person, but also seeing some vintage race cars. Now, here's what's coming up next on Pit Pass. It's the 3 State Flyers Super Late Models and some Sunday night action at Heston Speedway. Keep it here.
When you think golf carts, think Jake's Custom Golf Carts. With over 300 stock and lifted carts at their shop, you'll find the cart you need or have Jake's build one to your specs. Custom airbrushing, lift kits, sport shifters, rear seats. You name it, with the expertise and craftsmanship people have come to expect from Jake's. Come see for yourself why Jake's is the nation's premier golf cart provider. Jake's Golf Carts, Route 522 McVaytown. Online at jakesgolfcarts.com.